So basically, one thing that's been happening recently is that TGF, I know they're two friends of yours,
Yeah,
I'd assume.
yeah. I used to be fairly friendly with both of them. Our relationship has been somewhat skewed because I've said a few things about them. I genuinely don't mind them as humans. I used to really like their content. I think it's a bit dodgy now. What do you think?
I mean, I spent a day with him. That's as far as friendship goes.
Best
Yeah,
mates. I mean,
yeah,
if me and Keem are friends, then
Basically,
yeah.
me and Ramel are really good. No, to be fair, he still follows me on Twitter, so
But
we've got a
Jay-
bit of a.
but Jay doesn't.
No, Jay doesn't. I don't know why.
He,
I think,
well, he followed me the other day, so unlucky.
Ooh,
Well, in that
bragging,
Bragging right.
bragging.
but no,
bragging
we
right.
spent a day with them. In my mind, I was like, it's a bit weird. But then when you actually think about how our day with them went,
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. I think Ramel's more normal. Like Ramel's like actually like you could just sit with him and chill with him and he's sound as like I don't like I just want to put it out there before we get into what they've done wrong. I genuinely, and this isn't me because they're like respected in the community. I think they've done a lot of shit that I disagree with, right? And I think sometimes they can come across as the biggest fucking idiots on the platform. But I do think I like them both. I do like.
Yeah, I've
I've
done a video on them as well,
I've-
but I like them. I
yeah.
do like them, but it was like in the same way with a lot of YouTubers I've done videos on. People think that automatically means that you write them off.
Yeah,
No, not true. I think that it's subjective, and if you do something really fucking stupid, like put your head in the microwave or
yeah,
do these cards, which we'll get onto in a second, then you should be able to be criticised out it being like, oh, I fucking hate you.
yeah,
YouTubers seem to get surprised when I meet them and I go, don't hate you, I just didn't agree with one thing that you did, and I thought it was really, really stupid, so it was video worthy.
yeah,
So, but I don't want to punch you.
yeah.
And look at me anyway, so.
Yeah, but that's something in like the social media world and everything that's a bit mental.
Everything gets heightened by like a million.
Well, I always find it weird as well when, like, say a band releases a new song. Anyone who likes that band automatically says it's good. Could be the worst song they've ever done, but fans will always say it's good. So for you to say, you're allowed to have a bad opinion about one thing someone's done.
Yeah, but I would jump in there and say that a YouTuber I really like at the moment, Nico's done a video about TGF and these new cards that they've brought out, which we'll get into in a minute. I completely agree with him when he says that like I'm in the same boat and I don't give a fuck, right, about if TGF fans come on my channel, right?
Yeah.
If I now go on to slag them off because I genuinely believe they've done something wrong, which I do believe.
Yeah.
If people are going to go, oh, TGF regret, I don't give a fuck about you as a caliber of person. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds horrible, but if you are the kind of person that follows TGF and will defend them to the hills, like people that would defend in this £50 advent calendar a year ago, then you can slag me off all you want because you're not the kind of person that I want watching
And it
my
also
fucking
doesn't
videos.
seem like
anyway.
they listen.
So what have they done? What have TGF done now?
So they released a set of cards, like a card game, for themselves. By the way, one of the cards was spelt wrong as well, which is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, Nico put that in his video, and I just thought that was amazing.
That's mental.
But basically, these cards are it's like a dare game. So I think one of them was like jump on top of a car.
Like they do in the
Yes,
oh
yes, like
my
they do in their
God.
videos. So it's basically like recreating TGF dares, like hit your mate, stuff along those lines. I'm not really too specific on the cards because don't own any of them.
Funny you say that because I've got a list of some of the
Oh,
dares.
do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
So one of them was run over a stranger's car, presumably while it's parked, because Jay does that in the video, which is just mental on so many levels that you would do that. Jay's one is definitely faked. I think, in my opinion, it's fake.
What, like it's a friend's car?
Yeah,
or...
like he like runs over this car as it's at the lights, and the guy's just saying his car. Like, that's a bit annoying.
It would be a bit annoying.
Yeah, but you wouldn't act like that. You'd want to punch the cunt in the face. There's other ones. Flip. No, I'm not just calling Jay a cunt. Anyone that runs over somebody's car when it's at the lights is a cunt, right? And I'm a cunt as well, so
Yeah,
I'm
you're
allowed
doing
to
that
say it.
every day.
That's how I'm getting home, just down the M1. Why would I go down the M1? That's to Manchester. The other ones included flip somebody's tray of food over in a restaurant.
Yeah, that I'd kill somebody if they did that to me.
Yeah, again, cunt move. It was either flip someone's tray or flip your own tray, whatever, cunty. Wear a dog lead and let me take you walkies for 10 minutes.
Why would you do that?
But then again, that one's not really harming anyone else.
You're
No,
not
that's
bothering
fine.
anyone.
So we'll let that one roll. Roll yourself down the stairs of a double-decker bus.
When it's moving?
I don't think it matters.
Either way,
Alex.
it's kind of dangerous.
If you're on the bus, you're probably not going to be the only other person on that bus.
I swear I don't know if this is just my thinking, but the first thing when you said that, I was like, this stairs aren't big enough to roll yourself down.
Well, oh yeah, because they're like,
Look at the logistics.
you'd have to forward roll rather than pencil roll.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't spelt it right, so it's an ill thought out card game.
And the final one is get a tattoo of a trash can anywhere on your body, which again is not hurting anyone else.
So they've released these cards. Are people paying for these?
£3.50 a pack.
So you're getting a pack of cards to tell you to do a dare. What do you just give them to a friend and go, "Oh, you've now got to do this"?
Yeah, you kind of like got her out there each
And is
other.
there some type of rule where you can't say
That's
no?
no, because that's what they said to us when we spent the day with them. The TGF, we asked them about it, and they said that if they said, "I TGF dare you," or something along the lines of that, they had to do it no matter what. That was their rule.
That's like their
TGF meant you had to go and do whatever they've told you to do.
Because we were like, what does TGF literally stand for? And they were like, nothing. We made it up, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But they were like, yeah, if one of us says that to the other person, they have to do it. And
He did it to Ramel. Yeah, he said, "I TGF dare you," whatever this thing was. "I TGF dare you to go and sit on that bus. It's just parked up to let people on and play on your PSP."
This is in the most popular part of Norwich. There's a
Dead centre of Norwich City.
Yeah, on a Saturday.
Yeah,
Was it a Saturday?
that's a
I'm pretty
dare,
sure.
because imagine playing a PSP.
He loved it. He was on it all day. But he sits on this bus, puts his feet up on the side of the on the doors, and the driver's just there going, "What are you doing? I need to go." Like people waiting to get on the bus.
But there's not really any sort of comedy to it. It's more so the
Was
driver
it for a video?
He filmed it.
I
They were
think it was
vlogging, weren't they?
Yeah, they were vlogging it, but it wasn't like a specific video. But it was awkward and it was a bit weird.
I
Like
felt really uncomfortable.
Yeah, the driver was kind of just a bit like, "Do you want to not do that?" Like there was no
There was no big reaction. The driver wasn't like getting out, kicking him off. He just went.
But then imagine being Ramel, having to like be like that and then the guy not really give a fuck.
Yeah,
And then
whilst trying to
Ramel,
win a game of FIFA.
yeah,
How's he gonna do it?
And then he has to just go, "Okay, then." And walk off. Do you know how fucking awkward? You at least want someone to go, "What the hell are you guys doing, you kooky crazy fuckers?"
If anyone reacted like that.
I would go straight in the video. Oh,
Louis
a
Spence stands
PSP?
up. Imagine, "What are you doing, guys? Can't believe it." Ooh.
So people are actually doing this, or everyone's just kicked off at it?
There are kids that are doing this and uploading it to like their YouTube
I'm
channels.
amazed it has not hit mainstream media yet.
Yeah,
Because if it does,
I'd not heard anything.
they're fucked.
yeah. I
Like,
reckon they are.
I mean, but luckily then they've kind of managed to build this thing where they really can't be fucked, like, because
yeah.
they are just crazy.
It is what they do.
So it's like you can't
Yeah.
shit on them for it really,
No.
because it's like, well, what do you expect? It's TGF. They kind of immune.
Yeah.
But
like
yeah, I don't think it was their most clever idea.
It's
say
just
the least.
it's just another example of taking advantage of impressionable viewers.
Yeah,
to
but
get
then-
money in this
But
case.
then what happens, and this is going from 0 to 100 very quickly, but just imagine that one of these kids watches one of their videos and then dies.
Yeah, if they do.
Yeah. Because to be fair, I've watched their content before and wanted to die after. No, I'm joking-ish. But some other cards included, there was one that was shoot a baby in the face with a shotgun. I've actually written some examples on here.
That's not real.
Sign your entire YouTube channel over to Defy Media. That was another one. Not many people would dare do that. And drop 3 bombs of Mandy with Marina Joyce and see who was the first one to start sucking the moisture out of the floorboards. I wrote that on the way up.
They're not real.
No, they're not
Just quickly throw that one out there.
No.
But somebody did tweet Jay's editor, and did you see this?
Is that Jay Painter?
Something like that.
Yeah, I know him.
And was like, what the fuck are these cards about? And the guy replied, wait for season 2.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah,
or
that
series
that
2.
Yeah, James did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tweet that.
What I find even weirder is that as a product, now we've got the list of cards. I could just print them off and give them to people.
Yeah.
What? I'm not going to go pay £3.50 for it.
I don't know if all the cards are out. Like, I couldn't find all the different cards. I don't think there's like
No.
a checklist of things. I did see that a lot of people were complaining that their cards hadn't arrived and they'd come proper
That's
late.
the real issue.
Yeah,
I really want to just run over a car, but I can't do it until I get these cards. Without these cards, I can't do this.
What did we, before we move on from these chaps, what did you think of the microwave thing?
I thought it was. I mean, it was a YouTube prank. Fine with that. And I don't think it was necessarily a bad influence. It was a funny thing to do. I had a problem with the BBC News interview. I understand his whole point was kind of like, fuck the mainstream media, we do what we want, we set our own rules. but you kind of make everybody look like an idiot on YouTube when you do that. And especially after like ad crises and stuff, I think it's against your own interests to go on there and be a bit of an arrogant prick. And I do get that he was annoyed that they'd blown it out of proportion because it was just a funny video. And I can understand why when the BBC come knocking, going, look, basically calling him an idiot.
Yeah.
You want to be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, because, mainstream media, like, it's live than the views they're getting on their channel.
Yeah.
They're quite clearly doing something right. People enjoy it. But when you go on there and you're like, oh, no, I do it again because he said, and this is why this card game has come out and there will be a season 2. And I think the reason why there will be a season 2 is because it actually hasn't got the reaction that they wanted, which was mainstream media. He said, and I quote, any press is good press.
Yeah.
So they're purposefully trying to get in trouble for something.
And that's fine by me, because if Joe will allow it, I'll just make loads of videos.
Gives
on
you
it, so-
videos.
It's weird because I've always been someone that thinks that if you're doing something for a joke and you're not harming anybody directly, and people kick up a fuss about that, whatever, and your sole purpose is that it's a joke, I don't think you should apologise for it. And as long as you go wholeheartedly for it and stand by that, I don't think you can really ever be damaged, right?
No, you can't. That's my theory as well.
And I think I like to call it the Dapper Laughs effect, because Dapper Laughs obviously said a rape joke at one of his shows. It backlashed massively. So then he put on a turtleneck sweater, done his hair differently, went on Newsnight and cried, and he lost all of the people that were already standing by him.
Well, he looked like a completely different person.
And it was pathetic. If you're going to a Dapper Laugh show, and I said this to him at the time, if people are coming to see you and you make a rape joke, that's fine.
They expect that
You're at
from
a Dapper
him.
Laugh show. If I went and saw Lion King the musical and halfway through Simba come out and went, oh, that lion looks like it's gagging for a rape, then I'd have a problem with that. You know? Then I'd take my kids out. Don't listen to that little lion. Horny little fucker, that lion.
Oh, you wouldn't say that.
The weird part of those guys is that they are essentially just the jackass on YouTube, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are.
Yeah.
But even on Jackass, they always said, don't do this at home. And
Yeah.
they've now gone, do it at home. All this dangerous stuff we do, you give it a go.
It's like the YouTube, some of the Logan Paul thing. It's almost like, how do you make yourself different from everything that's already been? Oh, well, destroy the concepts that people already had set. Like, if people said, don't do it at home, well, one thing you could automatically do to be new, fresh, and original is go, do it! Go on, give it a go.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing where people are so desperate kind of to invent this new thing, like we're different, we're new,
Yeah.
that they'll almost be like, people on purposely now, and I really generally do believe this, on purposely do stuff they don't believe in
Yeah.
because of the fact that the normal person wouldn't do it, hence the Suicide Forest thing,
Yeah.
even though that was on a huge scale, because it is like, oh my god,
Can't believe it.
can't believe it.
Yeah.
Why would anybody do that?
Yeah.
It's like, well, because people wouldn't do it normally, so they already set themselves out as a different person, and they're going to gain more press for it anyway.
100%. It was one of my biggest mistakes that I think I did on YouTube was 2 or 3 years, no, probably a bit more than that. 3 or 4 years ago, I used to be like just edgy for edgy's sake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll call Alfie a cunt for no reason, right? And then as you grow older and you mature a little bit, you you learn that you need
Kind
to
of.
actually justify why people are being a cunt, and then don't just be edgy for edgy's sake. I feel that Jay, and I hate to always direct my stuff at Jay because again, I do like him as a person. But I feel that Jay does this more than Ramel. Jay really, really seems like the kind of guy that just tries to be edgy for edgy's sake.
I just think he wants to constantly up and up the level because he wants to just do bigger and bigger things, and that's admirable. But at a certain point, you've got to really like kind of ground yourself because you will almost put yourself into a corner.
But that's what you're saying. Like, he just goes out of his way to try and be weird and try to do something different. What he did when we were just sat in yours, he was weird all day. So the second we met him, he took his shoes off. He found a shoebox in the toilet, took his shoes off, put them in the shoebox,
But when
walked
you-
around with
when,
it.
When you say weird, it's kind of like, it's not weird as in the weird you would know. It's like, you know, sometimes in the TGF videos where Jay will go on this random spurt and he'll go, oh, my dad's my own armpit and shit like that.
That
Like,
constant.
didn't switch off.
So until he started editing,
Yeah.
he just went quiet, just sat on his laptop, didn't say a word. And then out of nowhere, he looks outside and just goes, I want to go and smell that car. And he does. He leaves the house. We watch him. No one's filming at this point either. He just smells the car and walks back in. And we're all just like, oh, was it?
And it was so weird. It was almost like, because Jay's a very, very, very smart guy. Very, very clever, very business savvy. And in many ways, he deserves all the success that he's had. And I felt like when he was editing, he was normal. That was him. He's doing his work. He's smashing it, whatever. And then it almost got to a bit where it was like, oh, I need to be Jay. I need to be Jay. Like, and then it went into that.
It probably just feels like, it's like when you kind of sit there for a bit and you don't really, you kind of just sit there he already signed out for it. He was like, oh shit, I haven't done anything funny for a bit.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants to be. He wants to be the funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell by his videos, and obviously he wants to be a comedian. He wants to entertain people even in the room, even if the cameras are off. So
Yeah.
when he just like switched it back on again, because that's what he's used to working.
We do need to say when we spent the day with them. This is about 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
This is a while ago, and at the time they only had about 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Mad.
Personally, on the day, I thought they were just trying to impress you
Right.
because you were going for a thing of just trying to get smaller YouTubers and
Yeah.
help them out.
Yeah.
So I think he was just trying to kind of show off to you.
Yeah.
But I could be completely wrong.
Right.
But
Well,
really nice
from
guys,
people-
just a bit.
Yeah, from people I know, because I actually, when you told me the story the first time, I asked a few of my mates if I've met them. I was like, "Oh, were they like this to you?" And apparently now they're very. But when it's off, it's off now. Like,
Really?
they're very sensible now, apparently.
Really.
And I've only heard good things about them, so
Yeah.
I just see it as like publicity stunt, but almost be wary of what you're doing.
It's one of these things where it's like I've met them and they weren't nasty people. They were nice people. They're like Ramel. Ramel's just a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Just a lovely guy. And I don't want to just put this on Jay because I think it's unfair. But I don't know if some of the crazier ideas are Jay's ideas and Ramel's kind of a little bit led by that.
But I'm sure so that it'll be a calculated move anyway. So even if it does get backlash, they've already calculated that. They've already made they've already gone, but that's the risk.
Yeah.
And they've accepted it.
Yeah.
So really, at the end of the day, like what really could be said, because I'm sure they're not going to turn around and go, "Oh, sorry, we didn't realise that was going to happen."
No.
They go, "No, we knew it,
Yeah.
and we probably knew we knew commentary channels would say this, and the podcast would be like this." So
Exactly. And
they'll
like I
probably be
said,
fine with it.
because Jay is so unapologetic, you can't knock him off. I think they're good guys. I think they're clever. They deserve all the success they've got. But if you are making kids run over cars in traffic, then you are a fucking cunt.
yeah, don't do it.
No.